Hey guys, it's coreross and welcome to the Skull and Bones video. So I got to play Skull and Bones at E3 and I went in hoping for it to be a really good game that I'd really enjoy playing, and to me it was the gameplay that was really important. If they pulled that off, I was thinking they're halfway there. And of course, me and a lot of other people have the worry that it's just going to be a bit like Sea of Thieves and it'll come out and they just won't have much content to it. So let's go over, first of all, what I was hoping Sea of Thieves would be. Preferably what I would have picked for the development of Sea of Thieves would be that it would be just basically World of Warships, but with pirate vessels. So think of it like Rainbow Six Siege. It'd be an online only game and it'd be pretty focused. You'd have your ships which have special abilities just like Rainbow Operators. You'd have different maps. Of course, different island layouts basically would be the maps. You can't do much else with the ocean. And that would kind of be the entirety of the game for me, and that would work. I'd love that. Just a game you can jump into, do like a 5v5, pirate vessels, going at it in real close combat, real visceral, bit of boarding action, sinking action. That to me would be freaking awesome. And then you'd have seasonal content, just like Rainbow. Every 3 months you'd bring in new vessels with new abilities, and I think you could have a hell of a really enjoyable game that would keep developing and changing over time as you add new things in. And to me that would be the perfect, really simple development. Probably sell it for like half price, sell it for like $30. Kind of market it as this, this really enjoyable ship combat game, and I think it would do really, really well. Whereas that's definitely not what they're doing with Skull and Bones. They've delayed it now until 2019, so they're definitely chucking a lot of content in there and they're playing around with a lot of stuff. So it's definitely not what I wanted it to be, but after playing it, I think it's awesome. I think it's really good. So the actual combat is great. The controls are great and it just plays really, really well. After just a couple of minutes, I was loving it and it was just so enjoyable to play. Now, I would have loved to have sat down with it for like hours, but I did get to play one demo behind closed doors with the devs, and then I got to play one demo on the actual show floor. So I had a good idea of what it was like. So when we were playing, we were in an open world and there was 10 human vessels. Now, from what I seen from the exterior of the map, there was a large line that said, do not cross, and that was the boundary of the world, and that appeared to be a circle. Now, it could be limited in size for the demo. I'm going to guess that that probably is the extent of the entire size, and that those 10 players are probably the usual amount you're going to see in a kind of Skull and Bones lobby, we'll call it. And it seems to be pretty similar to Sea of Thieves, where you spawn this big open world and you can kind of do whatever you want. So all 10 of the players appear to spawn on all the outsides of this circle pointing in towards the center, and it was pretty huge. I only met 2 players in my actual first playthrough. In my second playthrough, I went in one direction, like a spawn, and went left. So I was kind of following along the actual border of the world, and I only met one other player try to do that. So the world is pretty massive, I'd say. But just like Sea of Thieves, that can get boring really, really quick. And then it really brings in other elements from other games. So it's got the Division in there, definitely, with like the Dark Zone, because you pick up loot from the ships you destroy or the ships you board or the islands you go onto. Of course, you don't go into them, but your dudes on your ship do, which is I think that's quite cool. And you get loot. You then carry that loot until you get back to your pirate base and drop it off. If you get destroyed before that, especially by a human player, they can just steal all your stuff. They can just pick it all up and be off with it. So it's very much got that like kind of Division Dark Zone kind of feeling to it. The ships all have special abilities, which makes it feel a little bit like Rainbow Six, because you can team up with different players with different abilities and do different things, which can be very overpowered in the current build of the game. But of course, that's because it hasn't been balanced yet. But that is pretty awesome, because it means like teaming up with a couple of teammates with different vessels is freaking sweet and really fun. So I could see you and a bunch of buddies teaming up in this world and having a lot of fun. Again, that also goes back to kind of like the Division's Dark Zone 2 by teaming up together. So all of that was enjoyable. I loved that. The big issue is, what do you actually do content-wise? So in the open world, there was quests and things you could go get, and you could go to certain islands and start kind of quest chains that would lead to seeing like certain vessels and stuff turning up. Now in the demo, you didn't have time to do any of that, unfortunately, but it was definitely all there, and I kind of like that idea, but I don't know. I'm also going to guess that there should be the option to put PvP off. So basically have a PvE option that you can't be attacked by other players too, I would think. But yeah, I do worry that it's going to be Sea of Thieves, that it won't have as much content. But I think Sea of Thieves is a good game. It just was marketed really badly. Like if they had marketed it as like an indie game that was all about having fun with your friends and sold it at like $30, I think Sea of Thieves would actually done really well and got a lot of praise. But the market is this AAA title with lots of content and a game that you could play for a long time, and it just wasn't that game, unfortunately. But I think they marketed it wrong. If they'd marketed it right, I think it would have probably sold really well by now. But Skull and Bones definitely potentially has that issue. They could have gone really simple and made it basically a World of Warships pirate game and just done that, focused on that, and that would have probably done really well. But they're adding in a big story, they're adding in a lot of content, they say. We'll have to see. The demo didn't really have much of that because all I did in the demo was just blow up tons of ships. That was another thing, there was way too many ships. But I did like the variety. There was cargo ships, there was British Navy ships, there was Portuguese Navy ships, there was bounty hunters that came after you if you were doing really well, that were really powerful. So that was all really good, and I do like that. That's a variety which Sea of Thieves lacks. Like Sea of Thieves, if it had some NPC ships, even like the odd cargo ship that goes through that you could attack, or you know, a Portuguese man of war came through that you could decide to attack with a couple of other pirate vessels, maybe take it down, that would have been awesome. Whereas there's no NPC ships at all in Sea of Thieves. But by the time Skull and Bones comes out, it could be that Sea of Thieves does add that in, because they've got a whole year to add that stuff in. But I don't think they will. So I do think that Skull and Bones is going to bring us something different from Sea of Thieves. The combat is completely different and much more intense and much more enjoyable, I think. There's a lot more to do already, just in this demo that I played, compared to Sea of Thieves. But does it have that longevity? I think it's going to have a really good multiplayer. Like a 5v5, battling out with special abilities on your ships, and adding in new ships over time with new special abilities. I think that could be perfect and actually could do really well. I don't know if they're going to pull it off, but Skull and Bones at E3 was my favourite game this year. I just, like sitting down and playing everything else, this was the game that was just like, I'd love this. I could play this for hours and just have so much fun. I wish I could just get my friends in here and just have lots of fun blowing up ships and looking at these beautiful visuals all day. So that's my impressions of Skull and Bones. I do think it's got the potential to fail still, but I do think it's also got a lot more over Sea of Thieves and has more potential to be very good and very enjoyable. I do hope they really go into the multiplayer aspect, because that could be the thing that's kind of more long term. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. So that's my impressions of what I got to see, and I loved it. I thought it was absolutely awesome. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.